Abilene Schissler, and I'm the house captain for DG.
My name is Sean O'Malley.
My name is Seth Burnett, and I'm the 9th grade rep.
We are so excited to have you all here today, so thank you for being with us. First up, we have Mr. Dzinski presenting the high school Capstone Awards.
Noah Boehner, get on down there. Congrats, Noah. Noah exudes a stable joy that comes from a life well balanced, a temperate life. He takes his responsibilities seriously, but he also knows how to let go and accept what he cannot control. I watched him demonstrate this while dealing with the soccer injury, here we go again, at the end of last season. Noah was key to the team, and those games were the most important in the season, but Noah couldn't control his health, and he had to do the best he could. I remember staying after school and talking to him about this, and his view of the situation was resigned and anticipatory at the same time. Noah also went out of his way last year to thank me for my class, its positive role in his life and thinking. It takes courage and gratitude to initiate such a conversation with someone older than oneself. Noah made me feel honored that day. I watched Noah care about what is worth caring for. I see you do that. I see him treat young ladies in our school with respect, his friends with respect. I've read his papers. I've been blessed by his large faith that helps him see the deeper reality and love at the core of his experiences. He's a worthy winner of this award. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Noah. Next, the junior high Capstone Awards, Mrs. Kershaw.
So it's my honor to present the Capstone Award for the junior high to someone who consistently demonstrates the capstone virtues of prudence, gratitude, and fortitude. Abilene Schissler, come on. But for Abby, if she ever has a day that wasn't the best, I never do it. She came to class each day enthusiastic to learn whatever she could. Her regular participation in class last year set a high expectation for other students to contribute their ideas thoughtfully and maturely. Also, anytime Abby had to join class online, she made sure her teachers were not burdened with checking on her progress. She took complete responsibility for turning in work on time and didn't take advantage of a teacher's leniency with online students. The sense of responsibility can be seen this year as she takes on the leadership role of order leader. All these attributes combined with her natural inclination toward gratitude make her the perfect recipient for a Capstone Award. So in recognition, you get this lovely plaque, a book about virtue, and a gift card for ice cream. So congratulations, Abby.
Congratulations, Abby. We would like to start today by giving you a few minutes to contemplate takes us time to really focus on what we are saying. Gratitude is the capstone that is most easily understood and most easily practiced. It is not often internalized to become part of us. It is easy to say thank you to a teacher as you walk out of the classroom, but can you still find gratitude when times are difficult, when anxiety attacks, when sadness is overwhelming? That's when you know gratitude has become a part of you. When you can look beyond yourself and your circumstance and be truly grateful for someone or something that has touched your life. It is the ability to see goodness and purpose in challenging situations and to be grateful, knowing that every obstacle makes you stronger. Gratitude is the foundation of virtue. It underlines fortitude, justice, patriotism, prudence, and temperance. When you truly pursue living life with a grateful heart, all other virtues will naturally follow. A virtuous person will express it without thought because virtue has become part of them. We would like to give you an opportunity to express gratitude today. On the table between the doors in the back hallway are cards for you to use to express gratitude to someone. Take one or two on your way out, and then take some time to thoughtfully write a gratitude note to someone who has impacted your life. It doesn't have to be someone here at school, but we encourage you to thank and give thanks. We challenge you to be intentional about gratitude. It will change your life and the world around you.
Alright, our speaker today is Jayden Frable. Jayden was born in Canada and has lived in Fort Collins since 2007. She's an alumna of Liberty Common High School, and she graduated in 2017. She is currently a senior at Colorado State University, majoring in international studies and minoring in Spanish. Jayden hopes to work internationally or with international populations within the United States after she graduates. She enjoys writing, playing bass, reading, running, and painting. And without further ado, please welcome one of our own from BG itself, Jayden Frable.
Hi everyone, how are you all doing today? Good. Good? I can't believe that it's already October 14th. That is just so crazy to me. Maybe it's not crazy to you all in the same way, but I think this semester has just flown by. And thank you so much for having me here today as well. It's so crazy to be back here. I think it's been at least 3 years since I've been back to visit. But it's so great, and I just forgot how kind everyone at Liberty is. Like, from the moment I walked in, everyone's just been so welcoming and so kind and really just super caring, and I think that's something that's really special about this school. So, yeah, thank you all for such a warm welcome and for having me here. Like they said, I am a senior at Colorado State University, and I'm majoring in international studies, so concentrating in Latin American and European studies. I do want to work internationally eventually, but I'm not really sure what after college is going to look like, and I have plans to graduate in May. And hopefully that'll happen. I don't think that there's anything that'll throw that off track at this point. Yeah. So when Mrs. Carr and Mr. Len asked me to be here today, I was very humbled. I've heard some really incredible speakers at these Lyceums, and it was super humbling that they would ask me to be here. And I was also really excited because I love the topic of gratitude. I think it's really important. I think it's really easy to look over it because a lot of us talk about gratitude and use it in our everyday lives, but for me it's had a really, really big impact on my life. And yeah, I'm excited to get to talk about that a little bit today. I'm gonna have to remember to talk slowly. I wrote slow down like all over my notes because I was worried I was gonna talk too fast otherwise. So, all right. So I know we all know what gratitude is, or at least probably most of us do, but I'm going to read this definition real quick just to create sort of a basis of understanding. And I also just really like this definition. It was just the first one I found when I Googled what does gratitude mean, but I really like it, and I think it well encapsulates kind of what I'm going to talk about today. So the definition I found is the quality of being thankful and a readiness to show appreciation for and return kindness. I like this definition for a lot of different reasons, but I'll get more into that later on. I also just want to make this disclaimer. I'm going to be talking about gratitude, obviously, and I'm going to be talking about the positive impacts it's had on my life and the way that it's really affected me, but I also really want to be super clear, and I'm going to talk more about this later, but in everything that I'm saying, I don't ever want to communicate that I think and I believe that gratitude is a band-aid solution for everything, or that by being grateful just fixes every problem, because I know that that's not realistic, and I don't want to give anyone the idea that I believe that, because I think that that can lead to some more hard ways of thinking. So I've broken this up into 3 main sections. I'm going to talk about my own experience with gratitude, kind of what I've learned, and then I'm going to talk about some more practical applications. And then I'm just going to talk about some takeaways and brief closing. So just to set the stage, growing up, I think my parents, they set a really incredible example of what it looks like to live with gratitude. I think something I really, really admire about my parents is their ability to be grateful and recognize the beauty in every situation, but also still be real and not be fake, and still be authentic with what they're experiencing. So I really grew up in an environment of a family who tried to be really grateful for everything. But I think that I didn't really realize for myself how impactful gratitude could be, really until I graduated high school, which might sound kind of crazy because by that point I was like 19 years old, but that was really when I had my first experience where I realized how much gratitude can be transformational. So after I graduated high school, I took a gap year, and I went and lived in Nicaragua with 5 other girls, one of which being Mr. Len's daughter. So that was a really great experience, but when I graduated high school and went to Nicaragua, I was coming out of a really hard season in my life. I was not in a very good place. I was struggling with a lot of things. And I think that I had the hope that going on this gap year would maybe create space for me to figure some things out. And I think that definitely happened. There were some really cool things that happened while I was in Nicaragua, and I think it taught me a lot, and I grew in a lot of ways. And I really think that I can attribute the transformation that I experienced to 2 things. One being God, and one being gratitude. And I'm not going to talk so much about the spiritual aspect of things today, but I am going to focus in on the gratitude side of things. Because really during that time it was super impactful and transformational for me. So when I graduated high school, my sister gave me a graduation present. It was a book, and it was called 1,000 Gifts. And it's by a lady named Ann Voskamp. I assume Mrs. Carr knows the book I'm talking about. It's a very good book. I would highly recommend it. But yeah, my sister gave it to me as a graduation present. And I brought it with me to Nicaragua. I wanted to read it while I was there. And I didn't end up reading it until about October. It's actually crazy because probably by the time I started reading it is like almost exactly 4 years ago from when I'm making this speech, which is kind of crazy. But, or 5 years ago. It doesn't really matter. But I started reading that book, and something that the book talks about is how every single day there's just thousands of little gifts in every single moment. And really all we have to do is just open our eyes to them and notice them. And the book really talks about noticing and being grateful for the beauty in the mundane, because I think it's really easy when big, huge, monumental moments in life happen to be grateful for them, and I think we definitely should be grateful for those moments. But I think going to be harder when life is just pretty much the same day in and day out, to recognize the beauty in those moments as well. So I remember the author, she talked about how she really tried to find the beauty in just about everything. She talked about how when she was folding laundry, she was just so grateful for the sound of her kids playing and laughing outside, and just for like the smell of the laundry detergent. She talked about, this example really stands out vividly in my mind, but she talked about how one time she was washing dishes and then she noticed how each soap bubble had a little rainbow in it. And so it was like each soap bubble was a little gift for her, a little rainbow just for her. And I loved that. So I decided that I was going to try to go through my day with more of that perspective and really try to notice the beautiful in the mundane. And that was so eye-opening for me. Honestly, every single day I tried to just notice the little things. It could be, I remember one time we were on a drive, it was like a 3-hour drive or something, and I noticed that there were these trees on the side of the road, and the inside, like the bark on the inside was bright red. And it was so wild. I've never seen anything like that before, but it was so cool. And that was just a little moment that I was so grateful for. And it could be things like the way the sunlight hits the leaves, the way the rain smells, the way the trees look against the sunset, just little moments like that. And really trying to focus on those little moments brought me to an awareness, and this is sort of the first thing I learned from practicing gratitude, is the way that gratitude helps, at least helped me learn how to be present. Because every single day, when I was just trying to notice these little things to be thankful for, it was grounding me right there in that moment, and I wasn't trying to rush ahead and think about what was coming next, but I was really just there, able to notice what was going on around me, and able to be grateful for it and appreciate it. So being present, that was really the first big thing I feel like I learned from gratitude. The second thing is being content. And I think this is one I'm still working on. I think it can be hard sometimes to just be content. But especially in college, college is a season where I have frequently been discontent. There's things I wish maybe my academics looked differently, or my social life looked differently, or I should be doing this more, or I should be doing that more. And kind of having this expectation for myself that my life should look differently than it really did. And that created and has created discontentment, not really being able to appreciate and be grateful for the season of life that I am in. And it was really just the other day I was walking through campus, and it just hit me. I only have like a semester and a half left in college, and maybe the experience isn't what I thought it was going to look like, or maybe it hasn't been perfect or lived up to a certain expectation I had, but wouldn't I so much rather just be grateful for what I have experienced and what I have than think about what I wish things looked like instead? So I have been trying to do that more, and I think practicing gratitude every single day, again with little moments, can help be content. And it's okay to look forward to the future, and it's okay to be excited about things that are to come, but I think it can also be a super valuable tool to recognize also the great things that we have right in the moment. And another little example of that is I work at a coffee shop, and this morning actually I had to get up at 4 a.m. for work. So it was early morning, and that's every single week for me. I have to get up at 4 a.m. For work, and I'm definitely not a morning person at all. I never have been. It's really hard to get up that early. But something I love about it, especially during the summer when the sun rose so early, is I was always up before the sunrise, so I always got to watch the sun come up. And it's really hard getting up that early, but seeing the sunrise also makes it really, really worth it. So that's how I think gratitude has taught me how to be content. I also thirdly think that gratitude has taught me what it looks like to care for others and to be caring. So, even though I said that I didn't really experience the power of gratitude until after I graduated high school, the two examples I have for this actually came from high school. So, the first one was my freshman year of high school, Western Lit class with Mr. D. And I remember my group, we had a big group project at the end of the year. And it was a big portion of our grade, I remember. And I was the group leader. I don't know if Mr. D remembers this, but my group, we worked really hard. We gave our presentation, and then after our presentation, my group gave me a bouquet of flowers and a note and candy just to show that they appreciated me. And it meant so much. It meant so much to me. That I probably will never forget that moment. It's really stuck with me all this time. And I think that was just such a cool example of what it looks like for how being grateful and showing gratitude can really show care and love for others as well. And then the other local example I have is also from high school. My youth group, we went on a retreat, I guess is what you call it, to California over the summer one year, and we lived on houseboats for a week. We just went to this lake in California. We lived on these houseboats. And one of the activities that they encouraged us to do while we were there is to write notes of affirmation and gratitude for each other and give them to each other throughout the week. And I think that was just another really powerful example for me of how sharing with other people the ways that you appreciate them and are grateful for them can make such a big impact in ways that you may not even know, but can really stick with people and show them how much you care for them. So, with my experience, gratitude really has taught me how to be present, and how to be content, and how to be caring. But if we're talking about my experience, which we are right now, I feel like I really have to talk about this. So a couple weeks ago, I was having a hard time, and I couldn't really identify why. I didn't feel super great. I felt really unhappy, but I didn't really know why. And then I realized it was because I hadn't created any space in my life to experience the hard things as well. Anytime I would be sad about something, or anytime I'd be angry about something, I would subconsciously tell myself, no, you can't think about that, that's not being grateful, or no, you can't think about that, that's not being positive. And even though I think my intentions were good, it created this mentality where anytime I wasn't just being positive, I basically scolded myself for it. And then I didn't create any space in my life for anytime anything hard happened. So I think gratitude does help be content, be present, be caring, but it should never discredit the hard times. We have to learn how to hold both at the same time and not let one cancel out the other. Because we really need to have one to have the other. We need to have gratitude in the hard times. And we need to learn what it looks like to still hold the hard times in the midst of being grateful as well. Because trying to only focus on the bad or only focus on the good, it just doesn't really work, and it doesn't lead to a fullness of life, because then we're neglecting half of our experience as we're going through life. We really need to have one to have the other. So that is my experience with gratitude. I'm going to now share just a couple practical applications that I've found to be really helpful in trying to just practice being grateful every single day. And the first one is to just observe. I'm in a creative writing class this semester just for fun. It's not related to my major or anything, but I just wanted to take one. So it's been really fun, and I remember the very first class period, I think, my professor was talking about how one of the keys to being a great writer for creative writing is to just put yourself in a common space and just observe. And how by doing that, you can notice little details when everyone else is just rushing through life. And she was talking about creative writing, but I think that that can really apply to gratitude as well. I think that it can be very impactful to just, when you're in a common space, just look around and observe what's around you and just take it in and be grateful for all those little things, all those little beautiful things in the mundane. And I think one way to keep track of that is by keeping a journal, but I know that that's also not always practical to just carry a journal around everywhere. So when I was in Nicaragua and I was really trying to do this, what I would do is I would just, in my mind, keep like a little catalog of things throughout the day that I was grateful for, and then at night, I would write down all that I could remember. And if I couldn't remember everything, that's okay. It wasn't, the purpose wasn't for me to remember literally every single thing I was grateful for that day, but it was more just for me to remember that there were things to be grateful for from that day. So writing it down at night was such a cool way to reflect back on the day, even if it was a hard day, and recognize, wow, these are some amazing things that I saw. Wow, there's one flower that was so beautiful, or the sunset was so pretty tonight. Another practical application I have, and this might sound very, very basic, but it's to just say thank you in the moment. And that might sound very obvious to some people, but I think it's a lot easier to talk about just saying thank you in the moment than to do it. I realize that there's a lot of times I'm really thankful for someone's role in my life, something they've done for me, and I'll think about how much they mean to me and how much I appreciate it, but then I'll realize I've literally never even told them. Like, I have this one friend, I'm working on this really big research project this semester, and it's taking up a lot of time, and it's on a topic that's pretty complex. And I have one friend, and she's just been so encouraging the whole time, and she just really believes in what I'm doing, and she's been so empowering of me and the effort I put into it, and it's meant a lot to me. But the other day I realized that I never even told her how much that meant to me, and really how encouraged she made me feel. And I can think of a lot of examples like that where I'll really appreciate something about someone, and then I'll realize that I've never even told them, or I have never told them, how much they mean to me in that way. And I think telling people that we're grateful for them in the moment, like I said, can just be such a cool way to care for people. Because I think, at least for me, with the topic of gratitude, a lot of times I hear how gratitude can affect our own well-being, it can affect our moods, it can make us just happier, but it's not always talked about the way that gratitude can be used as a means to show other people how much we love them. And I think that's why I love the definition so much that I talked about in the beginning, is because it talks about the quality of being thankful, but also a readiness to show appreciation for and return kindness. So it holds both of those, the feelings of gratitude, but then also the exhibition of it. And I think it's so important not to forget that showing people we're grateful for them, it not only makes us happier, but it also shows them that they're valuable and they're important and they're loved. And I think doing little things like telling them or writing notes, I know not everyone likes to write notes, and that's okay, but I think that can be super encouraging, in the moment for people. And every time someone's done that for me, it's really meant a great deal, and it's really impacted my life a lot. So don't undermine how important telling someone you're grateful for them can be. So those are my applications. Now just a few takeaways for closing. One of my takeaways is that gratitude is beautiful. It can be grounding and humbling, but it should not discredit the hard times, like I said. It really should be something that works in cooperation and alongside with the hard times and the hard things that we experience. They really should work alongside each other, and we shouldn't let one discredit the other. I don't know, maybe you all know that, maybe you're all a lot more emotionally mature than I am, but I think that's something that I always need a constant reminder of, and I would love it if you all could remember that also. So for closing, I just wanted to share a little bit about my grandpa. He passed away a little under a year ago, last December, and he was 91 years old, and he celebrated his 91st birthday just a couple weeks before. And we had his memorial service recently because when he passed away, it was like really during the thick of COVID, and so we weren't able to gather as a family and have an actual memorial service for him. So just like a month ago, we all flew to Minnesota, and something people said again and again is how my grandpa really viewed every single day as a gift. He would wake up and he would say, "Today is a gift." And I think that that's a beautiful way to live. And I think viewing every single day as a gift doesn't mean that, again, we have to discredit the hard times, but it means really seeing the beauty in all of it. Every single day is a gift, and every single day is full of hundreds and thousands of gifts. And I would really just encourage you all to open your eyes and notice that. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jayden. We're going to have some questions, but first we get another round of applause. That was an awesome speech.
All right, if you guys have questions, please raise your hand and I will go around to give you the mic.
My favorite capstone?
Well, I don't know. I feel like anything I say will seem like bias, you know? I mean, gotta be gratitude, right? No, they're all great. They all are valuable in their own ways, but gratitude is probably superior.
More questions?
What was the name of the book that you talked about?
It's 1,000 Gifts, and it's by Ann Boskamp.
1,000 kids.
1,000 Gifts.
What coffee shops do you work at?
I work at a Human Beings, the one on North College, not the one on Midtown College. It's pretty great, so stop by. Would you say that you are also therefore grateful for the pain and struggle? Yeah, I think so. I think it can be really hard in the moment, like in the midst of pain and struggle, to be grateful for it. And I don't know if I've really learned exactly what it looks like in the midst of pain, to be grateful for it, but I look back on different things that I've experienced and different pain and struggles that I have had, and I am super grateful for them because I know that they've had a big transformational impact on me and who I am today.
Do you have a good Canadian accent?
I honestly don't think I do. I think if I try, I'm just going to really embarrass embarrassing. I really don't think I'm gonna do a good job. I'm gonna bring shame to my Canadian name. What you talking about, eh? Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, so other than your grandfather, who else has had the greatest influence on your life?
Wait, sorry, I'm so sorry. Can you say that one more time?
Okay. Other than your grandfather, who has had the greatest influence on your life?
That's a great question. Sorry I didn't hear it the first time or the second time. I think definitely my parents and my sister. I really admire you all so much. I don't know, everything I see them do, I feel like they're just incredible examples of like being loving towards others and being kind and being caring and being generous. And so yeah, I admire my family so much, and I hope that as I continue to get older, if I end up being anything like any of them, that would be awesome.
Anyone else have a question?
Hi, Jade. You guys don't know, or maybe some of you might remember from when you were in junior high, Jade, you did a lot of musical theater productions when you were here at school. And some of my favorite memories of Liberty students ever on stage was of you.
Thank you.
Do you have any songs that you remember or characters? Anything you want to sing for us?
I got it. I'll just take like a little extra, it's not a lot. Okay, this is from My Fair Lady, and I think it was sung at the end of the first act, maybe. And if anyone doesn't know the plot, it's basically like this person, she's pretty, I don't know, lower class, and this guy takes her in and tries to elevate her to be like a societal lady. I don't know what the right term for that would be, but okay. Oh, man. Y'all are just really putting me on the spot here. I could have danced all night, I could have danced all night, and still have begged for more. I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things I'd never done before.
What's your favorite show that you've done? And what's the role?
I think actually, my favorite show that I've done is actually the smallest role I ever had, but it was when I was in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It was my senior year. And I played one of the spies. So, yeah, and it was me and my friend Annika, and we were like a pair of spies together, and it was just such a fun role. It was like super goofy, and the song that we had was just really, really silly. So I think it was my favorite role because it was like, I was able to have the most fun with it, and was just kind of, yeah, able to have a good time.
Could you tell us more about your creative writing teacher?
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. from her. I think something that I really love about her is every single class period, she makes people feel very encouraged as writers. Like, I think writing can be a really scary thing because it's like really vulnerable, and I think it's really easy to discredit oneself as a writer and say like, I'm not good enough or I'm not actually a writer. And something I love about her is she just encourages us for even trying. She's like, it's a big feat that you even just try writing, you can just put yourself out there in that way. And I love that because it makes it feel less scary, and it makes me and I think my classmates more willing to take risks as well. Her name's Johnny Stanova. She's cool.
All right, everyone, give one final round of applause for Jayden. Not like any speech or anything, but I really think gratitude is one of the best virtues. And, alright, don't forget,